Sagittarius, how you doing? So we're here to do your March tarot reading. For a start, we look into the moment before, and then we try to compare the moment before with the moment after when we look into your March. It also helps me to try and work out and figure out what sometimes spirit messages are saying. So they will come in slowly sometimes. I might see as if I'm going off my mind when that happens. But I try to figure it out as we go forward. And then I compare cycles, really, between the moment before and the moment after. Okay. For people that are interested, Patron is actually changed, and it's gone down from $16 down to $5. It's just month by month. You can decide to join for a month and then decide not to the next month. It would purely be down to oneself, but it's gone down to $5, and it helps support the channel and for me to be able to keep doing readings. Okay, so let's see what happened in the moment before. These can also be very personal readings for people, because I will start to mention life, children, dynamics, or just happiness. But whoever's just generally happy all of the time, it feels like someone around you is always happy, like always happy. Well, I'm always happy, or a happy chappy. Something to do with Chappy or Chapman, named Chapman or Chappy. Or a dog. Someone finds a lot of loyalty within a dog called Chappy or something, or a very cheeky Chappy. Or someone feel like cheeky, or something to do with that. Cheeky Chappy. Let's see. Sagittarius. Show me the moment before of Sagittarius. The cheeky Chappy. Or the chapel. Something to do with the chapel. The tower. Or a chapel. Like, what do you call it? I'm seeing a child being christened. Like a christening, but a chapel. Or a church. Something is like taking over. Like, it seems to be some kind of like religious factor of some sort. But I'm seeing like a chapel. Or they're saying a chapel is going to take like a big stand or a seat. Or someone's taking a seat. What do they call that when they ask for donations? Something to do with like donating something to do with charity. Or some kind of like with your church, if you go to church, something to do with like a donation box or something. Something to do with a box, or a boxing, like a boxing club or a club. Something to do with someone's club, like a club book is ordering a lot of stuff of club books, or joining a club. Joining a club, like a boxing club. For some of you, this is like a fighting, like what do they call it? Not for, it could be a physical fighting thing, but like cardio, like combat training, or something to do with training, or it feels like a fight at some point or other. Who knows, Sagittarius? Who knows? Let's see. But a chapel. They keep saying something to do with a chapel and a child. So the moment before was Sagittarius. So, well, 6 of Cups straight. Oh, 6 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. On the 10. Somebody keeps going backwards and forwards to their family to get advice, and then they go back to their love life, but then they also go back to their family. This person went back to their family, but then also turned their back on their family, and then went back towards the Pisces at the same time. It feels also, sorry, that's kind of like that, okay, but someone is very, very, very confused. They're turning their back, or did turn their back on a soulmate situation. They triggered. Somebody got triggered during retrograde. Somebody got triggered, and it reflected something about their past soulmate that stayed in their mind to think about it, okay? And then they got very, very, very tempted to go back to their past, which was what they were reaching out for, was happiness, but they were reaching out for a dream. They were reaching out for a rainy day. They reached out to a Piscean, or something to do with that. Like, there's a lot of like, some of this is going on in the family that you might be witnessing. Now, this could be from a parent or a child situation, but somebody is so confused that they have a soulmate situation at hand, and that this is the moment before, and that they went back to their family and to get advice. They got confused by that situation. Well, this seems just like the Virgo Leo energy. They went back to their family to get advice. Some people are like so confused by somebody out there, is so confused by someone in their family, that they are torn between what to believe in themselves. And what they are doing is avoiding personal growth of triggers. It feels like someone gets triggered off by their memories of their past soulmate even. So if it isn't family, they're getting triggered off, or somebody got triggered off by a soulmate. And that they avoided that situation, and they're bringing it onto the present relationship as it stands right now, okay? Where there is a lot of like worry, because someone could have turned around from a 6 of cups, from a 5 of cups, so that would have been before the 6, yeah. They turned around, so this is where they say the 5 of cups, you turn around, you get the 2 of cups, but you also get triggered in the future. So I always say, you can't never avoid personal growth, and it's there for a reason of where you just bump into another circumstance. So a lot of this could be a new person that you met. If it isn't, this can be them and you at the same time. But a lot of, I turned around and I met a soulmate and I got triggered off by them. Now, if that isn't a new person, it's the situation at hand with the person that you're with. And they get triggered off by family members. They get triggered off by reflection of what's going on through retrograde and stuff. By like, oh, but I keep... Someone doesn't have to personally think about their ex-partner, because trust me, when you've had karma or dealings with anybody, that will always be in your mind. Try to get anybody off your mind all of the time. It doesn't work. So basically someone's reflecting on things that happened in a relationship, and they're bringing it forth into the present relationship that you would be in with your partner, okay? But they're also going between family to family. It's like, well, I'm just being moved around at the moment from one family to the next family. I'm going back to my soulmate, and then I'm going back to my family. And then I'm seeking family advice, but then I'm also going back to my soulmate and also my family of like soul groups that's there. But there's something that doesn't seem satisfactory for someone, that's not enough, that they can't contend with that. It's because they're being triggered. They're being excuse me, Sag. That you, if you see somebody, okay, so this is a way of engaging of whether it's yourselves. If you talk to someone and you're seeing someone and they can have a lot of frantic behavior and they're like, well, hold on a second, let's just talk. And it's like, yeah, well, let's talk, but I love you and I'm there, but I really don't know what I want to do at the moment. And I'm so confused of whether I want to move out or whether I want to move in, or whether we're living together. We're living together, but the space could be very confined. I feel down and alone a lot of the time, but I love you and you're my soulmate, but I really don't know what I want, so I'm going to go and seek that advice from my family. But my family seem to be going through a cycle of them with their own kind of stuff, and it feels like some family members are saying, oh, look, just deal with it. And it's like, okay, well, I'll go back to my soulmate then, and I'll go back to them. But they're triggering me off because they're making me remember my past soulmate situation of where I felt shunned out from that. And that is this cycle of confusion that someone seems to have been going through a lot. Now, if you're a Sagittarius watching, this can be a friend that's approaching you telling this kind of stuff. Or you're going through this as a family dynamic, or you're physically going through this in a love life situation where you are seeing someone that's going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. And there's a lot of like where you might trust someone, but then trust me, the amount of things and triggers that's done that stays in the subconscious memory, and it holds on to that, and you can hold on to those memories, and it can happen. This is why I say you have to be very careful by the amount of karma that you spread to people or from people, because the more you tell them something, they'll believe in that. And if you go back to family members and say, listen, it's a bit like Chinese whispers, okay, that's karma for you. You go back to family and tell them and say, listen, I need to tell you all of this stuff about my person. I just really don't know what I want to do, and blah, 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 blah. And they start to get that opinion, okay? And then they go back to the relationship. That turns out good. That turns out good. But the other person could be extremely unaware of the fact that this person's just said all of these things to their family. Okay, their family have given them a line and told them exactly what to do and what they think that they should do. So they go back to the soulmate and they put it upon the soulmate, but these family members then have got that in their mind of what's happened in their relationship with kids, family, blah, 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 so on and so forth. That's how catching the flu is, right? it's a little bit like they're saying something to do with a chimney or something to like a sweeping. Like I'm also hearing like a child's program of sooty and sweep. Oh dear, that was grating to listening to. There was this puppet that used to go meow, 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 meow. My father, bless him, when he was alive, used to hate the noise of that thing. But yeah, I think it was British. But look it up, sooty and sweep show. But something like mucking out, like I feel like pushed out of the relationship. And I feel like you're turning your back on a soulmate because someone seems like they're turning their back on a soulmate situation to avoid it, you see. I'm avoiding the soulmate. I'm avoiding learning. So it's not been a breakup for a lot of you. It's just that someone's avoiding a personal growth situation that they're trust me, you'll go through this one. You'll go through them all. You see, you can go through one soulmate to another soulmate to another soulmate. Me, personally, I went through 6. Okay? Attachments. But you go from one to the other to the other to the other, and it feels like something is being passed around. Because this person in the 7 is passing, like grabbing something in this deck, and it's like it's being passed around. Parsons or I picked that up in another reading. Is somebody out there called Parsons, right? Or the Parsons effect. Parsons? Or the what's that illness? The Parkinson's. Something about someone's grandparents have Parkinson's disease, and there's a lot of like sporadic behaviour that someone all of a sudden just, that's not Parkinson's though, right? I don't know why they're saying Parkinson's. Something to do with parking. Well, this would also relate to like the Chariot. Could be a Cancerian, okay? Because I'm picking up parking, like parking. Well, I'm picking up something parking. It's like, well, it's just parking. And I'm parking, barking. So somebody, okay, Sagittarius, just be careful. But I'm hearing somebody is seeing someone at the moment barking mad, as if to say, well, you are absolutely barking mad. You're going back and forwards to family. Where are you going? Are you coming to me? Are you going to them? Or are you like trying to build a relationship up with me? Or are you going back to your family to get advice? Or, if you know, are you going back to the other soulmate? Which soulmate do you want? Do you want this soulmate or that soulmate? Do you want family? Is that more important to you? Or do you want love? It's like, well, what is love at the moment? Because I'm so confused. I'm going to and from and to and from and to and from. There seems to be like a lot of foreign language. It doesn't have to be foreign. It just means it's falling upon someone. Like they feel like they're being tricked into something. It feels like, well, I'm just going to be tricked either way. So which way do I go? Do I go back to my family to get advice? But the 7 always has to take their own best advice, because the 7 can avoid situations up to the 9s of people that cause conflict. But you can't, and that will never come into light later until you understand physically what that was for. But there can be one soulmate that can get very much triggered off through someone, 1313 on the clock, that gets very, very triggered. And it's like, oh dear, I don't know, left from right, or like I'm just saying triggered. I'm triggered off by love, and I'm triggered off by family. It's like my family annoy me, or there's a situation in the family that annoys me. There's a situation of love that I can't understand. So because I can't understand where I want to move, or where I want to go, or whether I want to ask you to move in with me, and a friend could be saying, listen, I don't know yet. I've got to see how my relationship is first before I decide of whether we can like live together as a family. So that for some of you, that's like family members that are saying that. Before we can actually live together as a family, I've got to understand where I'm at in this 7 of Swords. I've got to understand something about myself first, whether they're admitting that or not. The 7 has got to come to some kind of conclusion of what it is that they're doing, because you might see all family members at the moment that are so the energy, put it this way, Sag, that the energy is so dense at the moment, or tense, sorry, not dense but tense, it can be the same thing but past tense. The energy can be so tense that nobody is knowing who said what in the family, that there can be a lot of Chinese whispers in the family where brothers and sisters and people are like forming some kind of reliance with one another, as if to say, well, are you going to trust me? Because listen, Have you seen what's going on in the family? Do you know what's going on with my brothers and sisters and their soulmate? So I'm going to go back to a family member to tell them. This can all be in the family, you see. This can be one circumstance that you've got going on in the family where there's a lot of Chinese whispers and there's so much going on that is causing a lot of frantic behaviour. That's Doreen. Unfortunately, Doreen never did get off a whatever. Did she? Did Doreen Virtue ever come back? She went to church, right? Take me to church. Ba, ba, ba. Something to do with take me to church. So it would take me up the aisle. It's like someone in the family is like a wedding planner. It's like, will you take me up the aisle? Okay, now they're saying someone doesn't know who to ask their family members to wed them. It's like, I don't trust my actual... Now listen. I don't trust my actual father. I don't trust what? I don't trust like my actual family member, but I do trust the family member that is physically looking after me, which would be a step parent. Because I'm also hearing steptoe and son. Okay, now I really don't know if that was in another country, steptoe and son. Because it feels like steptoe. Okay, now that I'm definitely feeling that because I've just looked here and they've just stabbed themselves in the foot. It's like, well, you've just stabbed yourself in your foot. You've just tripped over your own foot. You've just literally backstabbed yourself. It's like steptoe. Steptoe and son was about an old man and his son, and they were like wheelers and dealers, and they didn't trust one another. And they were like, oh, you dirty old man. But it was a comedy show, right? I'm really trying to think what that was about because I'm sure there would be some messages in there for you. But it's a lot of like wheeling and dealing and a lot of like, well, I don't trust my actual father or something like that. I don't know who that's coming from, Sagittarius. Please keep an open mind. I don't trust my actual parent, but I trust my step-parent. But I keep picking up this step. It's like, let's just take the first step one at a time. One at a time. Let's just take the first step. Let's take some kind of approach to this and try and sort it out. But I think that there's a family member around you that someone really doesn't trust. And they're like, well, I don't know. Let's see, Sagittarius. But you've definitely got Pisces involved. Okay. You could have closest member to 6 would be a Gemini or a Capricorn, and you could have that in your chart, right? Or they could, a family member. It would definitely have something to do with Gemini and Capricorn in the family. Okay. Now, there could be like a really loving family member that is like Gemini, water sign, but Gemini, Capricorn. And this is happening around Crosswatcher Review U. Okay. And it feels like someone is being like, or just being flat out. It's like, well, I'm flat out. And at the moment, it's like I am so exhausted with listening to everybody, always putting their burdens upon my shoulder that I'm just exhausted. And it's a lot to do with like living spaces of like a bed. Something to do with a bed. It's like, because I'm hearing that one in a bed, 2 roll over, and one in the other, and the other fell out. Something to do with like one fell out. One flew over the, well, okay, one flew over the cuckoo's nest. One fell out. It's like, well, one of them fell out. This is a family that are saying, yeah, I know, Steve, one of them fell out. It's like, well, one of them fell off. One of them fell off or fell out, fell off something. Somebody fell off something and hurt themselves. It's like, well, I just fell off the... It's like the bread line. I just fell off the bread line. All of a sudden I had a really good job or something. I just fell off the bread line. It's like, or I've just got home from the bread line. Something to do with the bread line. Borderline. The borderline. It's like, oh, I need to cross the border. Or you're crossing a boundary. I did. Somebody. Continuous reading, please, for Sagittarius. What happened before Sagittarius? What happened before Sagittarius? But I try to bring it all around towards the end. Trust me, when I channel messages, I can get so many that for me to really understand what those messages are about, it can take me some time. Okay, so I mean, this is the relationship that you're in as well, and these are family members are all in this. Now, the one that's exhausted is Taurus. Really, is right next to Taurus. It's like, well, God. It's like, listen, dear, what are we going to do about these kids? Right? What are we going to do about these kids? Because they're driving me nuts at the moment, because they're learning about relationships. They're trying to see what's most important. But somebody out there is, listen, I've just gotten from work. I'm absolutely exhausted. I really can't be dealing with this at the moment. It seems to be like there's too much on and I can't be dealing with it, and I've just got so much demand at work that work is overpowering and overburdened, and I've got so much to think about that at the end of the day I'm extremely knackered, and that I can't think left, right and centre because my kids are going through things, and it seems to be playing a toll slightly on the relationship at times. 16, which happens to be 7 again, which is exhaustion for someone, for the amount of stuff that they're doing for their family that's driving them nuts. It's like, I'm just doing so much for my family. I've got one that could well be getting married. I could have one that's well be getting married. I've got someone who has a lot of children or a lot of family members or just a lot of things to contend with. And it's like, I've got so much going on in my life. I've got work and I've got my family. My family, and some of them are just about to get married. And because they're about to get married, we've got to make loads of plans. Stevie Staten commented, Libra cross-watcher here. Your readings are so on point. Thanks, Stevie, if you're watching, cross-watching Libra. But it feels like, well, I'm extremely exhausted and I've got the family to contend with and all that sort of stuff to look out for. And our relationship at the moment seems to be at a struggle because we like spending time on one another, but we don't like to smother one another, which is, trust me, that's a relationship. Try learning to do with that one, you know. Physical, demanding relationships, they can really start to, if you get one that really starts to consume the relationship with feelings, the relationships that you can presently be in, they're really about coexisting when you end up in a proper relationship. If you guys are not in one and you're going through a dynamic, the people that are married for a long time or in like long-term relationships, you know, you ask anybody, and that, you know, they can be very difficult to coexist and live with physical people all the time. Me, I'm a Pisces and I like my own space and I like to swim in the ocean, you know. I don't, not physically, but you know, what I'm saying is Sagittarius is that, you know, conforming to a belief of what marriage and things are really like, you'll only ever really ask that about the people that are in one. Okay, I've been in it for a very long time. And that can be so many religious and factors and beliefs of structure and what things are really supposed to be about. But what's a relationship supposed to be about? Well, it's supposed to be about work and conforming to working, living, paying bills, looking after children. Also looking at the marriage and the situation at hand within your own relationship when children take heed. And then no one ever really knows what is right or what is wrong or what you should do. You would only know that within your own relationship of how you like things to be. Okay. But there is someone that likes things to be work. Hard work. Hard work. But that's a relationship, right? But hard work. It's hard work doing it all, right? It's a bit like Dolly Parton, you know, working 9 till 5. And then when I get home, I'm knackered. And you know what? If this is a male, trust me, or even a feminine male version, well, anybody is feminine. But me, at the end of the day, by the time I've finished all of my work and this work and uploading and doing whatever and my music, and I'm absolutely knackered, bruv. And I just want to spread out across this bed, right, and not speak. And that's me, because I've got so much energy in me that's just like, bruv, I can't even hear myself think. And I don't really want to think. What I want to do is just be quiet and actually just concentrate on being quiet. You know, and a lot of people, as a belief, can't understand that, because they think that talking is everything, okay? And it isn't, because it actually wastes so much energy by talking unnecessarily. Oh, let's talk about work. It's like, really? I don't want to talk about my work. I've been there all day. I don't want to come home and talk about work. You know, well, you know, what we're going to talk about then? It's like, well, let's just not really talk at all at the moment, and let's just avoid one another and just wait for things to calm down a little, you know. So, someone's like, well, I'll be single then. Oh, will you? Well, you're not single because you're married. So, it's like, well, listen, health comes first. My health comes first. I mean, it does. Your health comes first in a relationship, because your health is your vibration, right? Your vibration is your vitality of life of interest. That's what keeps your vitality of your vibration alive within yourself. Okay, and when you have that of a common interest, you've heard of the old chasing and running effect, right? That's about understanding about your own life. So when you concentrate so much on something that you love, what happens? People want your attention, because you're so dedicated towards your work and your job and your career. There's like, well, where's the time for me? But then when you're really focused on the relationship of like, well, this is just everything. The relationship is just everything, right? The relationship is just everything. That energy can come across very forceful for someone like, oh, God, I need to breathe, right? So to find your attraction of this myth that people say, oh, law of attraction, it's just going to appear out of nowhere. Yeah, a trigger will appear out of nowhere. Trust me, you'll know that one about law of attraction. Right, but what you attract to is someone that has a common interest within themselves. They have something very interesting about themselves that's going to make someone listen. It's a little bit like saprophilia of intellect, emotional intellect, or anything that someone has something that they're so dedicated towards that it can be very difficult to get them away from. Generally, that's work and bills. Okay, and that when that happens, someone's kind of, you know, but generally, what I'm saying is that law of attraction really bases off when you have something very exciting going on in your life. Your energy level will ignite. It will find your passion, because it won't be a person. It will be a thing that can't really respond to you. So you'll be responding to that physical thing that keeps your energy level alive, Sag. That's the most important thing for an open fire sign like Pisces as well, okay, is to keep that passion burning, to keep that light burning. And the way you do that is to find dedication of something that you are so interested in yourself, okay? When you do that, you'll start to trigger off people, okay? And that raises your elevation of like attracting like. You wouldn't attract yourself to a dull person in a pub or a bar that's sitting there, well, you know, oh, really? You know? So, but if there was someone there that had like playing music, or they put on a song, you're like, oh, bruv, I love that tune. Yeah, me too. When was the first time you heard it? Oh, God, I heard that back in 1964, bruv. When I'm 64, right? So you have a spark of interest with someone that caused an interest. That's what I'm saying to you. Cause and effect of law of attraction is really based off that, you know. So I've got no idea why I went into that one. Sagittarius. So anyway, go back to the card, Stephen. So someone gets so confused also in a physical relationship, because they are health comes first. Someone is very like concerned about their health at this time, can be like their physical appearance even, and they might start worrying like, oh, I mean, that's age, Sagittarius, it's just a number, man. But you know, that can for a lot of people. But also, like, my health is of a concern at me at the moment because I'm extremely knackered, and you know, so I have to look after my health. So I have to look after my business, and I have to look after my general well-being and my health. And I need a break, and I need a rest, and I need to just relax a little, because if I don't look after my health, my work seems to be taking over, and I don't want my work to be taking over my family life and my love life at the same time. So I need to just take a breather, take a break, and actually start to look after my health concern, or the people in my family or my life that have a health concern or a health issue. And because of that health concern, it's taken precedence in my life of this, what on earth is everybody up to in the thing that we call life? Right? So that seems to be what might have happened before, Sagittarius. Please make sure you leave a like, share, comment, all that kind of thing. Really does appreciate it. Okay. Also leave a comment to let me know if I was going crazy or if any of that was like Stevie Staten said or something. That if it related. So Sagittarius for March. Okay. So the first thing, oh dear, we're not relating to the 2 and 2 of Virgo and Leo. But there's a lot of seeking for advice. You see. Going back again to family members, exactly. So if you're cross-watching the reading that I just put out, which I did a few days ago, because I never really put readings out straight away. I'll let the energy settle when I know they come out. But going back to family, you see, if you're a cross-watcher watching those readings, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. Going back to their family members to seek advice, but are the family actually giving them true advice? But either way, they're going back to their family to ask for something. And this Virgo seems to be also very lost in confusion of like, well, I just need to seek seclusion for a little while, and can I stay here? You know, can I stay here? I'm also hearing Stacy, the name Stacy, or Tracy. Treacle! You're a Sagittarius, right, Treacle? I bet you're laughing right now. One of my dedicated patrons. But trick or treat. What's that being like trick or treat? But it's like, well, I'll just come back, we'll give you a treat, we'll look after you. There's something like you come back to the family to seek seclusion and have a break from the partnership at the moment. It's like, well, we'll just need a break, so because, you know, it depends on what star signs mingle with you and what don't. But there's a lot of frantic behaviour by someone that's happening through a low vibration. That's what I'm saying. They're being triggered. As you can see, this is a friend or someone, okay? Or something that's going on in your family. But they're getting triggered off by something. And you can't avoid emotional trigger, because that's you turned around from the 5 of Cups. That triggers you off in the future. So somebody, they get triggered off in their soulmate situation, and they basically run from personal growth. But they're still learning. It doesn't necessarily mean a breakup of the marriage. It just means that they've got a lot of soul growth probably to go through within their karma. Okay, this can be a young person as well for some of you. I'm feeling it's like a younger person, but soul. I don't know. People always say the hermit can be like a wise soul, but it can also be like a lost out there. Virgo is one of the main signs that is like really out there, you know. And they can feel very separated and alone at times. And when they do, if they start working out of low vibration, well, any sign, but start working out of a low vibration, they can start to overanalyze the situation to the point where they can be, it can become like, oh, I just need to breathe. Like I feel like I physically feel like I just can't breathe at the moment. Sagittarius, or somebody can't. It just feels like I can't breathe because there's some kind of like panic attack or anxiety. If it's not, it's like I just can't breathe at the moment. I can't breathe. Sagittarius. Oh, really, guys? You're coming up with the same cards. You see, this is definitely relating to someone that has Virgo in their chart. Okay? So if your partner is a Virgo, look at their Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. If they're not, then you can look at their family members and if they have that in their chart. But there's someone that gets triggered off. They're dreaming a lot. They're probably going through some kind of like nightmare situation. Because this can be like a midlife crisis or some kind of like crisis. It's like, oh, hold on a second, I'm going through a crisis. And it's like, oh, okay, I just heard something else. Yeah. I'm going through some kind of like midlife crisis, or I'm going through some kind of crisis at home, and I've got no idea what this person is up to, because it feels like they don't know what they want. It's like 1 minute that you want my daughter or you want my family member, but then the next minute you need us also to support you. So I don't know. It's like, well, I don't know yet. Okay. But a Virgo could have just appeared into your life, into the family situation, and they're there, but they're going through some kind of like crisis. Well, it's like, well, I've got a crisis at the moment, and I've got to stay here because I can't get over something. But there seems to be like a lot that I mean, trust me, this Virgo is going through it. They're going through it because they're going through anxiety. They're going through fear. They're having to break through a boundary of personal growth, of confronting their demons. This person, believe you me, is trying to confront their demons, or they're trying to avoid it. But they're going to confront them in some way. So there's a conformative energy of confronting someone, or that needs to confront something about themselves. Okay, that's for cross watchers that are watching. Or if your partner is a Virgo. But you're going to have to confront this. Because this can be so much fear that someone has about something that can literally be about doctor's appointments. See, these are doctor's appointments. This is having to go and get a doctor's appointment. This is having to go and get a marriage certificate. Or this is, you know, I mean, this is a doctor as well. Can be, or a solicitor or a lawyer or someone, but a lawyer, Laura. Okay, I'll pick that one up through another reading. But I need to go and get some kind of like help from the doctors, and I need to like see about, you know, whatever that is. But I need to confront that myself to go and do it, you know. So can you help me? And it's like, well, I'm helping you, I'm there. But you're going to have to do that yourself at some point. Depends how young this person is. I keep picking up like it's a young person for someone. But you're going to have to start to confront these things. So there's a lot of fear of like, well, I can't make an appointment. I need your help. And it's like, oh, sorry, but it's wearing someone out. But again, if you want to take this to a natural reading, you've got Virgo. They definitely seem to be out there, man. They're pointing this way. They're like out there, you know. It's like, well, I'm out there searching for a job, or I'm out there searching for something. So can you help me? Exactly the same cards that just came out through the reading that I just put out as a premiere, which was Virgo, right? Which is like, well, if you're not going to give me my help, then I'm just going to walk off. It's like, well, what are you going to do then? It's because this person isn't saying anything. They're thinking. This person's thinking, thinking. Please stop using your mind. Stop using your mind, because they're not talking to a family member. They're not saying what they really need to do, or they're trying to avoid something. This is a child. That's what I said. That's what I was channeling. It's some kind of like younger person, maybe. So please keep an open mind. I'm not talking ill will of anybody. I never take sides. I don't take sides in anything in my life. I take my own side, believe me. But yeah, I don't even stand up for myself. I just walk off. But there's that energy, you see. Well, I'll just walk off then. If you're not going to say something, I'll walk off and I'll get your attention some other way. So say, well, I'm just going to leave you to it then, bruv. I'm just going to leave you to that, and you do that, because I'm just going to go. It's like, well, I'm just going to go then. If you're not going to say anything, or you're not going to do something, then I'm going to leave. I'm not, I can't contend with all this stuff that's going on at home, and I can't contend with all that. So how is the contentment? Because it's like, well, I'm emotionally dissatisfied because you're not speaking to me the way that I want you to speak to me. So, I don't know. I mean, this could be you, Sagittarius, you see. It'll be cross-watch your fire sign of someone else. This could be you, Sag, okay? That I'm walking off then. If you're not going to say something, then I'm going. But that's a trigger. That's also someone that appeared back into someone's life out the poof, just, oh, you've just come back into my life from the past, really? What do you want now? It's like, oh, I can't be dealing with all that drama. I'm going this way, Let's walk this way, talk this way. The communication is not really to someone's satisfactory level at the moment. Okay, really, you've got the same reading as before through those. Pisces was up here, I think. So an ongoing cycle that seems to leave someone in a jam. It's like, because I'm getting my fill here. You see, this person is going back to a Pisces. So, friend, brother, sister, or the children have got something going on with a Pisces. Okay, so if you come up with a friend and they're saying all this to you, what they're saying it to you is about a Pisces. It could be a fire sign that's saying it, or they're going through it with a Pisces. Okay, and they're saying, well, I'm going to go back to my Pisces then. So if you're in a 2 and 8 with someone and you're being triggered off, they're going back and you don't trust them because you know that they're going back to a Pisces. Okay? It might not be a lot to do with trust, because I'm picking this up as a child that's going through it, or a friend or sister or brother, whoever, dog, fish, cat or whatever. But I'm going here because I can't confront that. There's someone that's really trying to avoid something, but always goes back to a Pisces to find my love. But they're also at the same time, they're walking back to a Pisces, but they're still, it feels like that they're still not talking to one. It feels like, well, I'm just out there, man, and I'm like, sorry, but these are, when I start to speak strange, it's because the energy I feel is what I speak. If I feel it, I speak it, and that's part of empathy, of like being empathically intuitive. Try being a Pisces. Definitely through February. Pisces, welcome to February. It's a really not good idea that you spend loads of money. Oh, all right. I'm going to go to Prime and buy myself something to do with my back because I've got a bad back. Sorry, Sagittarius. Pisces, don't spend loads of money during February. Really? Where's the next store? Pisces retrograde. Thank you, Spirit. Pisces retrograde. You might have had a reflection of a Pisces for someone that just came back into someone's life and go, oh, you're my Pisces. Or like, oh, it's a Pisces. I'm not speaking to them. I'm not speaking to them. My sister, Sagittarius, you're not watching, but I hope you speak to me. We haven't spoken like... We're not fell out. But she's a Sagittarius, 1717. Yeah. I love my sister. Well, I'm going to go and seek advice of, well, me. I need to talk to a Pisces. Everyone, listen, a Virgo is a good person also to talk to a Pisces. Yeah, I'm going to go, but I'm going to go and seek this Pisces then. So it could be you, Sagittarius. My new person is a Piscean. They've just come back into my life, and it's my shiny thing. My shining thing. My relationship. Let's just take a deeper look into this pentacle and see where we are in this relationship. Someone's saying, okay, I give in. I love you. I want to be in a proper relationship. So where is it? Shall we have a look? Shall we have a look at this relationship that we're in with possible Taurus? Virgo, really. But, well, I don't know what to do because I've got Virgo and a Piscean. Let's talk about the relationship. Okay, you've just got triggered and you've gone back to your family to get advice. So how did that go? Okay, well, I realised through that time that I love you and that I want to be with you, but I need you to look after me more. But this Pisces, it seems like you're both getting your satisfactory needs met, you know, because it feels like this Pisces is for some of you is knackered, bruv, is knackered, right? And it feels like, okay, well, I need some of your energy, Pisces. I need some of your energy. And it's like, oh, you want to take some more energy. Okay, well, you can have some because I love you. Right? But there's this kind of like feeling that someone takes someone's energy to engage on their own, meaning, well, I'm going to have to see where your energy levels are first before I engage on my own, because I need to take some of your energy because you're just there. So because you're just there, I'm okay to just take it. And it's like, well, yeah, go on then, because I love you and you can take what you want. So there's some kind of like, well, you can do that. I say that one very lightly. Okay, well, you can do that. Okay, well, I can't stop looking at these two nines that in your past bit here, you were tired out. Okay, and then through the reflection of what's coming through into March, seems to be a lot of release at the moment. Like it might be a little bit difficult during these periods of like retrograde, but there seems to be some kind of like satisfactory needs that's going to be meeting. There's going to be a meeting. Someone's going to probably reach out or they're thinking during this time, I really need to reach out, but definitely towards a Pisces. And so I really hope you guys have a Pisces in your, you know, because trust me, reflections of cards, there is someone that's going to a Pisces. Okay. Because they want to talk about this relationship. Okay. Wow, that is nearly an hour, Sagittarius, and I've got 2 more signs to do. Okay, guys, I really would appreciate it if everybody joins Patreon. It is literally now $5. It's gone from 16 right down to 5, and it really does support me as a reader in order to be able to keep doing readings. I will still keep doing readings, but the $5 just for the month just does support me with my, you know, being able to pay stuff. So I really would appreciate it if people join Patreon. You obviously get to see Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and your Jupiter, your masculine. Okay, Venus, feminine, Jupiter is your masculine. and then also try your descending signs, but you can put all of the pieces together through life readings to figure out exactly what your karma is. That should hopefully make it more easier when you know of things that can be coming up. And if they don't seem as if they're coming up, check back on the reading halfway through, some part through the month, and see if it's happened, because they're future predictions. Okay. So as we continue on, then we start to clarify some of the cards just to give me a broader spectrum of what it is, but the story unfolds as we go on. Okay, so if you want to join Patron or you want a personal reading, you can find all of the links below under the Show More section, along with any other multimedia place that I run, Becoming the Change, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. I really would appreciate your guys' support, and I'll hopefully see you over on Patreon, and or reach out for a personal reading. Okay, all right guys, thanks very much. I will catch you again soon, Sagittarius.